Demonstrations in Israel against the proposed judicial overhaul are now into their 12th week. And besides the massive public protests on the streets, there are signs now of definite cracks within the government too on the issue. Now Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, has issued an appeal asking for this process to be halted. The defense minister made the remarks on Saturday as clashes erupted in Tel Aviv city between protesters and security forces. Realizing the graveness of the demonstrations, Israel's defense minister urged the government to halt the legislation process. He said that the bitter dispute over the overall poses a danger to the entire country now, citing the need for dialogue with the opposition. The minister asked Netanyahu's coalition to wait until after parliament reconvenes from its holiday break next month.
המתרחשים בחברה הישראלית אינם פוסחים על צבא ההגנה לישראל. מכל עבר עולות תחושות של כעס, כאב ואכזבה בעוצמה בה לא נתקלתי מעולם. אני רואה כיצד מקור עוצמתנו הולך ונשחק. כשר הביטחון של מדינת ישראל אני אומר בצורה הברורה ביותר. השסע הולך ונפער בחברה, חודר אל תוך צה"ל ואל גופי הביטחון. זו סכנה ברורה, מיידית ומוחשית לביטחון המדינה. לדבר הזה...
At least two lawmakers from Netanyahu's Likud party also supported the call made by the minister. Other members of the ruling coalition have also raised concerns over fast-tracking the legislation process. Now, the appeal was made on the backdrop of massive demonstrations which are going on for 12 weeks now in Israel. Thousands had gathered on the streets to express their dissent against the judicial overhaul. Holding national flags, the demonstrators sloganeered in a show of strength and unity. But the situation got grim when protesters tried to block a highway near the protest site. They marched on the road and waved flags, leading to clashes with police. Security forces used water cannons to disperse the protesters. Some people were detained as well. As the Knesset is pressing to pass the reforms, the protests too are becoming more and more fierce. A few provisions of the legislation have already been passed. Rest are in the process of voting. The reforms weaken the power of the Supreme Court and gives government the power to appoint judges and override the court's decisions. For more on this, we are being joined by Alex Grinberg, who is a researcher at the Jerusalem Institute for Security and Strategy. Welcome to WION, sir.
Thank you.
Alex, the protests have been going on for nearly 3 months. How do you see this shaping up, or what are the chances of the overall reforms getting passed now?
No, I don't see that the reform can get more robust with what is going on from point of view of demonstrations and so on. But I think that to avoid schism within Israeli society is more important than this judicial overhaul, which I deem urgently needed myself.
Alex,
yes, sorry.
Go on.
I think that the main problem is this: that on the one hand, of course, the concerns of the protesters and, of course, those of elite protesters, if I may use this expression, are serious and sincere. However, one cannot ignore that by 90% these concerns are a result of media propaganda that rallies around the flag against the government. And no one of these protesters can clearly explain why it contradicts democracy or the rule of law, because more than anything else, what motivates them is fear for the demographic change that the Israeli society is undergoing.
Alex, Now, the defense minister in Israel is saying source of our strength is eroding. These are not words that can be taken lightly. Lawmakers from Netanyahu's own party are supporting the call to halt the legislative process. Now, is Netanyahu losing support within his party as well?
It may be possible, yes, but I believe that the first concern of the defense minister is to prevent indeed casement or like a gap within the military system. So he is pronouncing for stopping the overall. It is true. In principle, I also believe that the best way is to come to compromise. But on the other hand, it is clear that the opposition doesn't really want a compromise. It wants the whole overall to be stopped forever. And from the beginning, the situation that we have in Israel, that the Supreme Court of Israel usurped the right of free commenting, amending of the unexistent constitution is something unheard of hitherto, and so on. So I still have not heard a clear explanation why this or another government step contradicts democracy, because democracy in this newly invented Israeli meaning means only unlimited rule of judges. By contrast, you can rarely hear from the proponents of this beleaguered democracy such notions as the sovereignty of people, change of power, or free elections. And but indeed, if half of people opposes the overhaul, so the national agreement, in my humble opinion, is more important than this or another overhaul.
Thank you for all those updates, Alex.